Chao here with Third Movement. I want to let you guys know something that awesome that just happened to me. I've just realized that you guys can like my videos, you guys can leave a comment about the videos, and you guys can subscribe right now. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Today's video we're gonna be talking about our kids, the importance of raising our kids, and inside of that, we're going to be talking about video games, our media period, a lot of the media that we are letting in our house, and how to be watchful for it. And this stems from it's a little kid that moved in next door, me and my apartment complex, and if you don't know, I'm raising my niece and nephew and everything, and the kid wants he's the same age as my nephew and niece. My niece and nephew are twins, and they're all in third grade. And when we first met him, we met him because he was walking to the bus with us in the morning time and everything. And I see his dad, and his dad really cool. I talk to him, sparingly when I can. If I'm off to work and everything, I talk to him on the way to my car or whatever. If I see him, whenever I see him, I talk to him. But so the kid, he's the only son. I think they have two daughters, but they both in high school, and it's just him, and he's the only young one, and he wants somebody to play with, and I don't mind that, On the weekends when I take my little nephew to the park and niece and nephew to the park in the complex, I take them with me or whatever. Um, I really just started taking my niece and nephew to the park on the weekends. But we'll get more into that later. But so he would want my nephew to come and hang out with him at his house. Now I will not allow it, simply just because I grew up very sheltered myself. My mom, I think I was 18 the first night I stayed outside the house at somebody else's house that wasn't like a paid babysitter. Like for me to have a sleepover, I was 18 for my first sleepover. That wasn't my auntie's or wasn't my uncle's house or something like that. So it was like no staying at. There was no sleeping over at somebody's house. Hey, listen, every weekend it seemed like we had somebody staying at our house. My mom didn't care if anybody stayed at our house, but we couldn't stay at no one house. She didn't play that. So I'm kind of like that with my niece and nephew. I tell them, you're not going in anybody's house. Number one, I don't want nobody. I don't know what they're gonna be doing in the house. I don't like that. I don't know if their parents gonna be home. Nowadays, you got parents working from sun up to sundown, and these kids are raising themselves. I don't deal with all that. Number two is just I just don't trust people. Not that, not in a wrong way. I just don't trust people until I know you, until I know who you are. I mean, they could have some very shady past, some very shady stuff. I don't know. I just don't trust you until I feel like there has to be a relationship established. And so I don't let my nephew go over to his house, but he can come over here. And I told him he can't come into my house unless he asks his parents. And I guess that his parents are a little more trusting than I am. So he comes over here for the first time and plays video games with my nephew. Now I have a gaming system. I have the Xbox 360. I don't have the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. I don't think you need all that. Me personally, a little 8-year-old child don't need an Xbox One. He don't need all that. Listen, the Xbox 360 has a bunch of games. For me, I only like to play two games. And that's basketball and football. That's it. I play a little. I do play a little golf on the game, but that's it. And Minecraft, I'm into that because my little nephew's into that. He get me into that. But that's it. Like I don't need nothing. I don't need all these different video games. That's enough for me. And he has a little more games that he can play, but I watch what he play. So the little boy comes in and he was like, okay, what kind of games you guys have? And I'm like, and my little nephew like, we have this game, that game, that game, and he was like, wow, you don't have any like games with gore, you don't have like any shooting games and all that, Call of Duty and all this. I'm like, I'm listening as they have a conversation, but I'm trying my best not to butt in. I want to hear what my nephew is going to say. I want to hear how my nephew is going to have this conversation with it. So my nephew says, "Nah, we not allowed to have all this and all that," and he's like, "Why not?" And my nephew looks a little stumped, and I just chime in like, I told the little boy, I don't like games where they have to kill stuff, but especially not killing people. I don't like games with much violence in them. But I will allow, it's a game called Halo, which is you fighting a alien invasion or whatever. And it's I got the old version, and so he do have that game and everything. And the little boy like, no, it's no gore. Do you got Mortal Kombat? Now, Mortal Kombat is a fighting game about, and I grew up on this stuff. Mortal Kombat is a fighting game about you really trying to kill this another mortal and combat and fighting style and everything. And I'm like, nah, man, that, just too much. That's not the kind of game. Too much violence, and the boy didn't understand. I didn't push it. I didn't want to, indoctrinate somebody else's child. I'm gonna do my own, but I ain't listen. Raise them up the way they should go, right? So, little boy, they put in the game, and you could tell he was getting a little bored, and so he wanted to do something else. And I said, go ahead and everything. And I brought my nephew in, and I was like, you know what? Don't let nobody influence you on something that you believe is right or wrong. Right now, my relationship with my mother growing up when it came down to faith was I had to go to church and I had to respect the pastor enough to stay awake. She doesn't care if I ever said, okay, I love you, Jesus. She didn't. She just put you there. Now, her faith was shown. Like, my mom's faith was shown in everything she did. Right? I mean, my mom was the youth at the time. They didn't allow women to be pastors, so she was a youth leader. I grew up in a Baptist church. It seemed like everybody grew up in a Baptist church. But she didn't force it on us, but she put it in front of us, and I kind of do the same thing with my niece and nephew. And the craziest thing about God is He builds their faith. Like, I basically has to do nothing. It was one situation where they was expecting something. They wasn't expecting something, and it happened in a way that I can't explain it, but God. And that builds their faith. So it's a lot of stuff that happened. I put it in front of them. I live my faith out. For example, I would take time and just play a sermon, right? And I play the sermon out loud. Now, I didn't know at the time, because my nephew, he'll be on his little tablet, and my niece, she'll be on her tablet or whatever. And my niece has some earphones on. My nephew, he don't really too much deal with earphones. And I'll be and he'll say, "Oh, what this pastor saying about this? What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean?" And he just asks questions the whole sermon. Sometimes it get bothersome, like I can't hear it, man. But it's like that's the way I really teach him is I let him ask the questions. When they see me in the Bible, and they say, "Well, read a little bit to me," and then I read it to them, and they ask questions, and that's the way it happened. It all for me, it happens organically. It happens by I don't have to force it. I just put it around them, and they will ask and they will pick it up. But what I will say and what I will do is I would not allow something that I'm uncomfortable with in my house. So if they want something that I'm uncomfortable with, they know I'm not going to get it, or they know I'm not going to allow it. As far as music go, I listen to a lot of gospel rap, and they love the gospel rap. So for me, the whole music thing is not so much of a fight. They kind of like listen to what I listen to, but it's not for me from forcing it. I just tell them that they can't bring any music with profanity in the house, and pretty much that's everything. So they just stop fighting it. They're like, you know what, everything has profanity. I'm done. I'm just gonna listen to what you listen to. But it's not me forcing it at all. It's not like I'm forcing something on them. It is what it is, and I love that. So I just say this video is me telling you is You have to take a stand in your house, and you gotta know what's going down. You gotta know that your kids are gonna be attracted to the things that are sinful, or the things that are ungodly. But they're also gonna be attracted to, because they love you, like they look up to you. So they're gonna want to know about you. They're gonna know about your faith. They're gonna know about what you believe. They're gonna know what you listen to. They're gonna want to know why you listen to the sermon, what the sermon means. If you put positive in their way, they're gonna want to get to it. Just like if you put negative in their way, they're gonna be attracted to it. They're gonna be attracted to it just because you're attracted to it. Whatever you're attracted to, that's what they're gonna be attracted to, and that's what I found out with raising these kids the last 3.5 years. So that's pretty much me telling you. Just say, okay, I'm gonna be committed to being positive. I'm gonna be committed to Christ, and they're gonna follow you. It ain't an indoctrination. It's really what they see you do. They're gonna do. And listen, I don't care about somebody say, "Oh, you've been indoctrinated." No, either I'm gonna do it or they're gonna do it. Look at the media. Look at how all of a sudden now people are believing in aliens when years ago that was considered stupid or crazy, right? You was conspiracy theories years ago if you believe in aliens, and not everybody believe in aliens, and that's because people are just attracted to it. At the end of the day, this is all I'm saying. You gotta take control of your house, and you can do it in a way where the kids are attracted to it. And that's the way I'm doing it. You build a relationship, making it relational, make it a part of your relationship with them. The lifestyle third movement.